That's what I told her. Don't go. Man, it's a weird week. Welcome to the pre-show.
It's been a super weird week.
I'm just sharing out the post on the social medias. This is a part of the show where we talk about what we're going to do on the show, and I'm not. Oh, here's somebody beeping in. Hold on a second, somebody. It's Taylor.
Taylor.
It's Taylor. Hey, we're live already with the pre-show, Taylor. Welcome. How are you?
How's it going, man?
Oh, he's having problems. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm having problems. Maybe I couldn't hear you.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, well, there you go. That'll do it every time. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna do on the show. Again, it's been a weird week. I got a shit ton of news. If nothing else, if we're not gonna, I'm just sharing the show around. Sorry. If nothing else, we can just talk about news because of the snow and the mayhem.
Oh, yeah, Snowmageddon in Nashville.
We didn't have it nearly as bad as, say, in Texas, but again, we are more prepared for it here in Tennessee because we do often get, bad winter. So I hope everybody in Texas is doing better now that they've had some thaw.
Yeah, although this is the first time I can remember schools being closed for a full week because of it.
Yeah.
Maybe in y'all's lifetime.
It's been a.
I was there in 94.
100 years old.
I was there in 94, baby. I was there. 94 was a terrible, terrible one. It actually wasn't. It was actually a really good time because a couple of sisters had to come to my house to use the shower who I went to school with. It was actually a really good time. Anyway, we got news. I got more heroes reborn. I am a creep. I'm a creepo. I do have some new Heroes Reborn covers that we're going to look at because I want to use my catchy.
Your video?
My video. We're going to talk about a toy.
A toy?
I don't want to spoil it.
Which one?
I don't want to spoil it for you, especially Taylor, because I think this is one. I know you're not a big toy guy. Not very big. Not like me,
Oh, hey, speaking of toys.
Oh, yes. Go ahead. Interrupt.
Got a Cheetor the other day.
Oh, very cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah, hold him a little closer. He looks a little weird. I'll transform him here in a second.
I did like Cheetor a lot better when he turned trans metal.
Metal, yeah. I don't really like the original Cheetor as much as his trans.
Beast Wars is the only Transformers thing I actually know a decent amount about. So I'm glad you brought up a Beast Wars thing.
That's the one I know the least about, believe it or not. There's some new DC titles that were announced at Comics Pro. We're just going to go over the titles. We don't have any creative teams really or anything on that, which is weird. Marvel announced a new Reptile series. We'll just talk about that a little bit. A new Immortal Hulk one-shot. Predators covers. And
yeah, those look sick. I like those.
They're all weird as hell. Of course, WandaVision. We'll talk about WandaVision with spoilers. Even
of course.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, there's not much to talk about outside of spoilers,
Exactly, yeah. I do have some food news, which is going to lead right into some science news. Which is going to take
science news.
I know, crazy. Oddly enough, we do have a moment of destruction, sort of a delayed one, because Previews World screwed us over because they didn't actually post the solicit for G.I. Joe Castle Fall.
Oh, I didn't read this.
Oh, dude, I think it's the last issue. It read like the last issue. I'll go over it. And then comics. Usually top 3. Is we just talk about our top 3 comics.
I can do a
David's
top 3.
here. Sorry, Dave. I didn't click you in.
I have a top 1, which was probably going to be my number 1 anyway. So
well, that'll work. I actually did read a bunch because I just read differently than everybody here. So we'll talk about that. Dave, what's going on, bro?
Oh, not a whole lot.
I know you didn't read comics. Nothing.
I wasn't able to get out till yesterday.
Yeah. We did talk.
I didn't get out till today, but managed to make it by the comic shop.
Yeah, so then we'll just extend, all the news. My science news, I think, is going to take in quite a bit of it, though. So, any news? You guys bring any news?
Boom. There you go.
That's a pretty easy transformer too, man.
It doesn't take very long once you know how to do them.
Shit, fucking.
I'm not a huge fan of Beast Wars. I'm actually like Beast Machines better, and I know I'm in the minority there.
You are.
What do you enjoy the most about being wrong about that? Like, what's your favorite part of having that bad opinion?
Hey, I don't.
I think
Beast
the character
Machines is
designs in
shit.
Beast Machines
I mean,
was great.
Beast Machines has some really interesting ideas in it,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
never really gets the chance to follow through
Well,
with it.
they kind
There
of
are
explored
no-
some of that stuff in later series. I mean,
There are no wrong Transformers. to
like in
love.
Transformers Animated, the one that had like this, they introduced like the small team. They introduced like Bulkhead. And the ranks were
later.
Optimus Prime was not the leader of the Autobots, but he was just like one of these mini lieutenants, and Ultra
Yeah.
Magnus was the leader. They introduced the concept that organics and the Cybertronians could merge with Black Arachnia, because the Black Arachnia in that series
Here's
was
this
a lead of
fucking
one.
rabbit hole.
We're just going down. We're just going down Transformers continuity.
Now, I have
You
not-
think X-Men continuity is bad? We're
it
going
is.
Transformers multiverse here.
So no news though. No one
I
has
don't know
any
if
news.
like the camera has high enough resolution to capture how my eyes are glazing.
Gloss,
over
yeah,
during
no
all
I
this,
know.
but
So
no one has
Oh.
any news.
I mean,
we
I
did
had
have-
some interesting things going this week, but yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that in segment 1. We did do a Geek Tyrion collection last week for
Dead or
the
alive, you're coming with me.
awesome, action-packed, amazing movie.
The blackest movie ever.
Can you fly, Bobby?
I believe I can fly.
No, but still, it was a great, it was a
touch the sky.
runaway success. The next pick, I believe, is Jules's.
I believe it is.
So we're gonna have to
He
wait to
wasn't
talk to him.
there.
Yeah, he wasn't there. He got stuck by the snow. But look for that back in the archives. It was a great
I'm
time
looking
talking
forward to
about
seeing what
RoboCop.
Jules says. I think he's got a good curator's mentality for this sort of thing.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I
think
kind of
he-
feel he's probably going to do like the Hidden Fortress or something.
I think he said he was going to do Akira.
It's not the worst.
Yeah, Akira was what he was thinking about. But
Man, I love
he
that movie.
totally would do the Hidden Fortress or some
Yeah.
sort of Kurosawa film. That's totally up his alley.
So it sounds like the betting favorite is it's something Japanese, but
It's definitely
yeah,
something
something
Japanese, but I
Japanese,
would
yeah.
go with Akira.
Now Akira stands up. It's like 30 years old, and that animation still stands up to
It
this
does.
day.
I
yeah,
agree.
I mean, it's one of the most commonly referenced animes of all time. Still, I mean,
Yeah.
how many different versions of Takeda walking to his bike?
Dude,
exist?
I posted on Outright Geekery like 40 of them. I have a whole
Yeah.
folder on my
I
laptop.
mean, what are some? What's your favorite one if you can think of?
the
it?
Pee Wee Herman one.
I was trying to say
I have
Pee Wee
it on a
walking to his
shirt.
bike.
I have
yeah.
it on a shirt.
Oh, have you seen that Pee Wee Herman Jurassic Park crossover video?
Yes,
that
I've
is
seen that.
hilarious.
Yeah. Where he's in the mirror. Our next top 5, our list show, with the comic book bullies as well, is this Tuesday at 7:30. Top 5 comic book runs. Writers must be more than one arc, and just one of any one thing rule is in place.
Highlander rules.
Any love for the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run? I think that's going to make my top 5.
That's a
I think it is.
contender. I
think it's
don't
gonna
know
make
that
my
I'll
top
put
5.
it.
I
think it's gonna be my
personally
top five.
love that run, being a huge Green Lantern fan.
Yeah.
But my problem with that run is it's very inconsistent. The beginning of that run
Yeah, that's a
is
good point.
fantastic.
Like,
But once you get past Blackest Night,
It's
it
that's
really
true.
it really gets dragged out. War for the Green Lanterns is shit. Rise of the
Yeah.
Third Army was a bait and switch.
It was.
yeah, like that is a good example of a peaks and valleys type of run.
Yeah,
although,
I think it's
Even
still
more
gonna
so, I
make
guess
my list.
it's really good. But Adam is absolutely right. It is very front loaded in terms of quality.
It does so much though to expand.
But
that.
but the Sinestro Corps War,
Sinestro
that
Corps
whole
War,
crossover
That is some.
that's chef's kiss.
It's
Yeah, that's,
beautiful,
peak
dude.
Green, that's some of the best Green Lantern ever written by anyone, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, let's get on. Let's do the damn show. We're running way behind. Not really. This is a new one, y'all. I got a new one.
I mean, we're playing with house money as far as like timing goes.
Fucking hubris.
I love it.
That's
I love
Gomer to a T.
That's a
I
good
love-
one. That was a pretty good one. But
All the Star
Yeah.
Trek ones are gold, man.
yeah, I mean, we can take as long as we want at the intro here. We don't have a lot of comics to talk about.
Yeah, I know. Just like Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. The show's very front heavy. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. It's another episode of This Geek in Comics, Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
I'm your
Shit
co-host,
talk
It's
show.
Gomer, Adam Normal Taylor, aka David. How's it going, gentlemen? What's going on this?
I mean, it's
We're
fine,
having a
you know.
heat wave.
Oh
Yeah,
it
it
hit
was.
40
It was
today.
like in the 40s today. It felt like summer. It really did.
It kind of did. It was weird.
I wanted to
this
walk
is-
outside of
this
my
is us-
house with shorts.
This is us all week.
Yeah, I'm glad for the thaw. But
Yeah,
you know
me
what?
too. Me
I
too.
did
It
enjoy.
was fun though. We actually
Yeah.
got real snow for once.
I
Which we
enjoyed
usually just
walking
get ice.
around, the neighborhood, like street light glow on the snow and everything. It's something
Yeah.
I've never really
Got to build a
experienced
snowman.
before, like this genuine, like everything snowed over type of deal. Fuck you,
I
Gomer.
enjoyed
Yeah.
walking to my mailbox and slipping on my ass.
I wish I
what
had seen
everybody-
that. I really do, but yeah.
What did everybody do this week when they were snowed in?
There was a new Kickstarter for Zombicide.
Oh, was that a card game?
No, it's a board
Oh.
game, a
But
tabletop
you just
game.
contributed to it for like 7 days straight. I mean, I don't get how that's like taking
Like
up
I'm
too much
all
No.
over this, like a
No,
lottery.
no, I didn't contribute. I was like the early bird, so I got some really good stuff for $100. So,
Nice.
fun.
Nice.
and then there was that Humble bundle I asked about, and I actually,
yeah, did you get that?
yeah, it's like I donated like $25 for it, and ended up getting like almost like $300 worth of stuff.
Yeah, Humble
STL
Bundle's
files,
dope, man.
STL
Yeah.
files to print future stuff. Yay!
Nice.
I mean, it's a pretty good bargain. It's basically like a charity loot crate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Very
really fun,
much.
dude.
I got like there's like rules, the expanded rules, PDFs to print terrain, vehicles, figures, minis. Oh, it was incredible. I was like, this is too good to pass up.
I'm watching the Muppet Show today.
Oh, that came out on Disney Plus.
It doesn't really hold up. Well, it's good, but I remember it being a lot better when I was a
I
kid.
re-
Maybe it's because I was young and dumb and stupid.
I
know?
recall when Disney
does
Plus come
happen
out, that was
sometimes.
like the one thing everybody was asking about because they had
Yeah.
like all the other Muppet shows, but the Muppet Show.
Well, you know why, don't you?
It had something to do with the rights, right?
Yeah, the music is the rights to the music.
It's always the music nowadays.
Yeah. Man, this is gonna sound weird, but also, do you guys know what Pluto TV is?
Yeah.
I do
I
not.
have
And
Pluto
can't
TV.
say that
It's
I
like-
do.
It's a streaming channel that you can get. It's totally free. But basically what it does is it collects all of the over-the-air streams from all around the United States and Canada, I guess, and then streams them. And some of these big, like, places like LA, New York, have some really crazy shit that they stream.
Like public access stuff?
It's kind of like that, but not really, because there is no public access anymore. Not
Yeah.
like
Just
Wayne's
over the air
World was.
television, right? Just
Well,
all
yeah,
the
it's over the air television, but there is a Price is Right, the Barker Years channel. I've
Huh.
been watching the hell out of this, dude, and it's from the 80s.
Well,
it's,
yeah.
it's fucking amazing. It's like walking into a time machine, bro. It's weird as hell. I can't stop watching it.
And you're like, man, I can't believe everything was so cheap back in the 80s.
No, it's not even that. A lot of it is like really expensive. Like ceiling fans are like $800.
Wow.
It's weird as hell, dude. I'm serious.
You know-
You can get a ceiling fan for like $35 now. You know what I mean?
It is kind of weird. Like some things, like in spite of inflation, are way the hell cheaper than they used to be. Like television. That's a great example. Like a TV set is drastically cheaper than it would have been back in like the 90s, in spite of 2 decades of inflation at this
And
point.
not even cheaper, but I mean the quality that you're getting.
Oh, so much better.
And I
Like they
think
don't
that's
weigh
what it is.
800 pounds. They
They're not made out of wood.
They weren't 50 fucking inches. You know what I mean? With high
Yeah.
def. But a lot of these, like
Widescreen.
all of the TVs that they sell, because it's in the early 80s, are all American companies. It's like, yeah, Gold Star and shit like that. The cars the only foreign cars you'll see on there is like a Volkswagen, And
Oh,
I'm sorry, I know it's boring. It sounds so stupid.
Oh, it can be
I
fun to go
can't-
back
no,
and watch
that's
these
cool.
old things. Like
It is.
the things that are
It's-
different, and also the things that are
No,
the
no,
same
it's-
can be like
yeah,
very
the things-
remarkable.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, they talk about these cars. Oh, and a cigarette lighter in the car. Like that's a big deal.
Power
And you can't even get a
window.
car with a cigarette lighter in it brand new anymore. It's just so, I don't know. It's weird. And fashion. Okay. In the 80s. Okay. The fashion, it was kind of terrible. It was shit. They just like the 70s.
Well,
it was weird.
I mean, everything
We
looks
don't have
worse after
fashion
2 years,
nowadays.
right?
We don't have fashion nowadays.
Not really.
Now it's jeans, t-shirts, and women wearing the stretch pants, which No complaints at all. They look great. They're comfortable. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's weird to see people all in like period fashion. It's weird. I say period fashion like the 80s is.
Well, I mean, no, legitimately, that was like 40
Oh,
years
I don't
ago
know.
now.
Maybe, David. I don't know. Maybe.
Like, you can legitimately, like, the 80s was a long ass time ago now.
It was,
legitimately
dude, it
is
was.
like a different era.
It's whack, dude.
The
It's
90s
vintage
were a long
now.
ass time ago. It was weird watching Captain Marvel when it came out a couple years ago. It's the first movie I remember seeing where there was this nostalgic glaze for the 90s.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
a time that you like
You've
recall.
lived it.
you
You
know?
remember
This is
still?
what
Yeah.
I remember thinking at the time, this must be what it's like to be Gomer, to feel
This
800
is like
years
watching
old at
Daisy
all
Confused.
times.
It's like watching Daisy Confused. You know. Let's do the news.
And now here's Goma with the news.
And here's Dave the weather.
It's cold outside, bitches.
Heroes Reborn got some new covers by one of my favorite artists, Jeffrey Reggie. He just does this minimalist Native American style on his art. Oh, you know what? I
That
meant to
that's
do
didn't look
awesome.
like the Native American
Yeah,
type
I meant to
covers
do
from a few months back.
Yeah.
Heroes Reborn trailer. Never mind. I'll just.
Oh, it's so
You were so
loud.
excited about it, though.
I know. I love this one though. This Hyperion one's dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's freaking great. And then here's the last one. Here.
Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it kind of sucks though, because I really want those connecting covers too, like the trading card covers. So I ain't buying 2 copies.
You gotta pick which one you want, man.
I know, man.
You gotta look deep.
Flip a coin.
A lot of people hate
Well,
variant covers.
go for
I
one or
love
the
variant.
other, you know?
I love variant covers, dude.
There's no point in getting some of the interlocking covers, though. If you're going to go interlocking,
you have to go
you gotta
one way or the
all
other.
in. Yeah.
All right, this is some pretty damn cool news. There are new Spawn books on the way.
There's 4 new, aren't there?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Is it Donny Cates doing one?
Yeah,
Dude,
wasn't that the rumor?
you are spoiling the news. Yes, that is exactly what's happening. I am so excited. I am not a Spawn guy.
I'm
at
not really
all.
a Spawn guy either.
He's wonderful.
But Donny Cates, I mean, he's been writing Spawn in his Venom run anyway, so
right.
might as well.
The first book is called King Spawn. The character Spawn will now join the rare company of like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and multiple monthly books. I don't think we know what King Spawn is. October is getting a new monthly called Gunslinger Spawn, and then a new book.
He's the Spawn of the
So are they all
Wild,
just different
West.
versions of Spawn?
Yeah, I guess it's like Ghost Rider kind of.
Donny Cates seems like a good fit for Spawn. Spawn's one of those
There's a
characters
lot of
that are
people.
I feel like everyone knows who Spawn is, but he's not quite up there with the A-list characters like your Spider-Man and your Superman of the world.
But he could get there, I think. I think he's got some still potential, even 30 years. We were just talking about how long ago
This
90s
could
were.
give him a pretty big shot in the arm, at least, for sure.
Yeah. There's a list that McFarlane is adding. Art Adams, Jason Sean Alexander, who has been doing art on Spawn, and who David dated his sister.
I did not date his sister.
Carlo Barberi, Brett Booth, who had a great week on X-Men Legends, #1. J. Scott Campbell, Greg Capullo, Donny Cates, of course, Jim Chung, Mike Del Mundo, Javier Fernandez, David Finch, Jonathan Clampion, Kevin Keane, Alice Coate, Puppeteer Lee. I don't know who that is. Sean Lewis, who I love. What is that book he did that we really like, David? Sean Lewis.
Sean Lewis. Oh, shit.
He did it with that one artist, man, and now they're doing a new book.
I was joking earlier about you being really old, but it's really bad that you can't remember any of the details.
No, I don't remember. I interviewed Sean Lewis on another podcast that I did along with some other guys. Sean Gordon Murphy is going to do some Spawn. Dude, he does the art on Spawn.
It'll look great.
That's hot.
Almost all of these names that you're listing off, they all sound amazing. So
Sean Lewis has done Coyotes.
That's what it was.
The
Coyotes.
Few and Bliss, which kind of became a disappointment.
Yeah. Ben Oliver, Steven Segovia, Paul Segura, Mark Silvestri, of course, Marcio Takara, Frank Quietly, and others. Holy crap.
Oh, shit. Frank Quietly?
I know.
Frank Quietly's a big deal. I don't see him work too much
Art
these
Adams,
days either.
Frank Quietly, Jason Sean Alexander. Sure, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Frank Quietly is one of those great artists who I'm never sure if I'm saying their name correctly. But Frank Quietly.
No, that's how. What else could it be?
I'm sure it
Quietly?
is, but like I'm never certain that's how you say
Oh,
it.
You never
I've never
heard it
heard it said
pronounced?
out loud.
I
I've
always
never heard
say-
it said.
I always say quietly, like, shut the fuck up.
At
That's
least
what I
that's
think
not
it
what-
is.
I don't think that's what it is. I think it's quietly, like quite, like a lot. I don't know. All right,
Either
moving
way.
on.
Sounds like we're getting a real
It's not written down
renaissance.
phonetically.
Oh, boo!
Yeah, that was terrible, and I'm ashamed of that. But anyway.
Renaissance. Okay, yeah, so that's something to look forward to. I'm excited about Spawn. Spawn's a dope character. All right, now there is a new Hasbro Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure coming out. Even though this figure is technically part of the collection, he does not come with a Build-A-Figure, but it's got Emperor Doom. And he comes
I
with
fucking
Thanos'
love that they included the spine that he ripped out of Thanos. Yeah.
spine. Yeah, dude.
That
That,
was one
that
of the
right there
best
is the
panels from
biggest selling
that
point of that
story.
entire figure. Yeah.
This is gonna sell out so fast. That's why they're
That
not.
was a
including-
brilliant inclusion.
Yeah, well, that's why they're not selling it with the Build-A-Fig, because they know no one's who really wants to collect those is gonna be able to find this thing. It's a 7-figure set. It's also got arcade and there's a Red Skull, but yeah, dude, that's rad. David, you don't collect Legends, do you?
No, I don't.
I don't either, but I would
That-
get this.
This looks pretty
Yeah.
neat.
I think I'm gonna get this one. It's rad.
Alas, poor Thanos, I knew thee well.
Awesome. Moving on. There's a full list of new DC titles that were announced at Comics Pro. We all know what DC's line looks like, so there's definitely some Batman in there.
There's Batman Dr. Ock.
Deathstroke Incorporated was announced. We don't have any information or any
So-
creative teams.
Are
All
all
we
of
have
these
is titles.
Elseworlds titles, or
No.
are these mainline books, or
There is one called Elseworlds, but
Oh,
even the
okay.
one called Elseworlds, I think, is in continuity because
there is an Elseworlds in continuity? yeah.
exactly. Which I mean, it only adds to the confusion. But Harley Quinn animated series sequel, I don't think that's going to be in continuity.
No, that's not in continuity.
No, it's not.
Wonder Woman 80th anniversary title. Then that book called Elseworld. DC Vampires. Now that's just a working title. But that's
They had a book a few years ago called I Vampire that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But,
I don't think that's going to be this.
I don't think that's going to be.
No, I
this.
don't think that's
but-
related. It's probably where like DC heroes get turned into vampires.
Yeah, like
Mhm,
Marvel
yes,
Zombies or
like
something.
What is
Marvel
going
Zombies.
on, Taylor? Are you all right?
Or
I'm trying to get my
D-
steps in.
DC's
Oh,
running out of ideas.
Nice. Robin and Batman.
Nice flip. I want to see creative teams for
As
all
long
of
as it's
these.
Damien. A book called
mean-
Joker, a puzzle box.
Now that sounds like a Hellraiser Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, this is just like which one of these titles perplexes you the most. You know, there's not much
Oh,
to go
for
off of
sure,
until we get
for
creative.
sure.
Like Adam said, you know, we really need creative
Yeah.
teams here.
There's a couple here that I think will raise some eyebrows. A book called The Legend of Batman. We don't know what that is. But a book called Crush and Lobo.
Okay.
I mean, if you've been following those characters,
Well, everyone knows Lobo. Crush is like Lobo's kid.
kid,
He's
yeah,
been on the Teen Titans. A book called Nubia and the Amazons.
Okay.
I'm down for that. And then a book called DC Middle Ages. That one makes
Okay.
me wonder.
So is this like?
if it's
Batman
anything
and
like
Superman-
Demon Knights that came out a few years ago, I'd be
know
down
that-
for it.
I know that this is probably them set in like medieval times or whatever, but I'm
Dost thou,
hoping that
Batman?
I'm hoping that this is Batman, Superman, and all like just going through a midlife crisis, just like hitting their middle ages.
Dude, that's what they should have called
They're
it.
going
Midlife
LARPing.
crisis.
They're going LARPing.
Yeah. Midlife crisis. Dude, that's a meme. That's got to be a meme. DC's newest event, Midlife Crisis. No, Middle Ages, it sounds like Gotham by Gaslight, maybe. 1609. Remember Marvel 1609?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was pretty good,
well,
actually.
Neil Gaiman wrote that. Who
I
do they
know.
have writing this?
Well, maybe he's coming back, man. DC Comics.
It's not impossible, but I don't think I
It
doubt
is. It's very impossible. All right, we have a new Reptile series. This came out
Is
of
it?
nowhere.
I thought it was Reptile.
I always called him Reptile.
I was
it,
expecting.
it looks like
Mortal
Reptile
Kombat.
to me. That's what I would.
I've been saying it wrong then.
Well, anyway,
He's getting a new
So,
series.
this
Terry
is a
Blas.
character
Yeah, go ahead, Taylor.
Academy. Avengers Academy was a solid book, but it was like 10 years ago.
It was
I'm wondering.
forever ago.
I'm not saying this will be bad or anything, but I'm surprised that after all this time, they're pulling a character from that. Was he ever in anything else? I don't know.
shit on me.
What Taylor? Sorry.
Was he ever in anything else? I honestly don't know.
Well, actually, this character did not debut in Avengers: The Initiative or in The Initiative. He debuted in a one-shot called Avengers: The Initiative Reptile, and then later showed up and did some shit. So yeah, you've read as much of him as everybody else has at this point. An artist named Edith Balam is doing the art. Terry Blaz is doing the writing. I've never heard of either of those guys.
Nope.
In the wake of Kamala's Law and his grandfather's worsening health, Humberto Lopez, aka Reptile, has taken a step back from crime fighting to refocus on his family. $4, 32 pages.
So it's like a slice of life outlawed book, is what it sounds like.
Terry Blaz wrote Hotel Dare and Dead Weight: Murder at Camp Bloom. And Enid Balaam did a book called Omni, which, again, I've never heard of any of those. I have that one shot where he's introduced, and it went up to like $30 on eBay. So everyone's thinking that this is like a precursor to something that they're going to add to the Marvel Universe very soon, which I don't know. There you go, Reptile. That'll be out later this year. Moving on. Everybody loves Reptile until you don't.
Okay, Omni was a title on humanoids, so that's probably why you didn't.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was a humanoids thing. I didn't know who that person was. Moving on. Immortal Hulk: Time of Monsters #1. This has been announced. It's a 40-page one-shot, $5.
All the one-shots, man. All the tie-ins for Immortal Hulk.
Well, I mentioned last week that I usually only stick with the ones that Al Ewing writes, and Al Ewing is writing this one.
He is. Al Ewing, Alex Pactinel, and David Vaughn, with Juan Ferreira and more doing the art. It's going to get a Deadpool variant. 10,000 years ago, something green and glowing came to poison the ancient ground of the Fertile Crescent and the heart of its people. One boy is left to bear the consequences and, for the first time, to open the green door.
I love that cover, by the way.
Oh, dude, it's rad.
Just like the light of the door lighting up. That's good.
It's like Kelly Jones.
It's very good. The art on this is Juan Ferreira. Did you read the one that came out this week? The one from Declan Shalvey?
No, because I just do the Al Ewing ones.
Yeah. It did a lot with reflections. Like everywhere there was a reflection, you'd see the Hulk while Banner was doing his thing. It was really well done. Anyway. So yeah, that'll be out sometime. Hey, Hulk's hot right now, man. Everyone loves Hulk. Predator covers are coming. And then we can talk about WandaVision, damn it. Spider-Man would beat a Predator easy.
I think that Predator doesn't have much on Spider-Man because invisibility wouldn't mean much in that fight, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if it's just like a straight-up fist fight, I think Spider-Man's got him.
Yeah. The Fantastic Four, even though I don't know what's going on.
Okay, all four of them would definitely stomp the Predator. But,
and
I think he can take Mr. Fantastic one-on-one, but I think the rest of them could beat him pretty easy, too.
Even though, I don't know, man. I don't think people give Mr. Fantastic enough credit.
Is Mr. Fantastic, can he go into a lab and, create an I instantly beat the Predator machine? Because he could totally do that.
No, but the rubber thing, he might be able to wrap him up.
Yeah, it might be hard to injure him.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that works.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. We can go back to FF. I want to talk about Seastorm's butt in this. I don't know. She got.
Oh, they're going all in on the butt there.
That is some odd anatomy there.
But yeah.
That is some Pixar.
They're giving her the broke back there.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a rad cover. I love the Predator.
Now that could actually be a comic. That could actually be like the Guardians find the Predator out in space somewhere.
Yes.
I feel like Gamora probably could take the Predator one-on-one.
Nova could, sure. And Nova too. Nova.
Yeah, but I feel combined they could take the Predator, but I think in a one-on-one situation, I'd have to give it to Gamora.
Well, and
they
Nova
would definitely have a really interesting fight scene. That would be a good duel to have.
I think Star-Lord and Rocket, though, they would have their work cut out for them.
Rocket Rocket's crafty. Like
No,
Nah,
he
man,
is. I
Rocket would be
still-
like Jesse Ventura, man. He'd just have his big gun and blow everything up, but he won't hit anything.
I like Rocket's chances better than Star Lord's.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. Moving on, Valkyrie, the Mighty Valkyries. This is a new series that's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about it when it does, but Valkyrie's gonna dominate a Predator. Come on.
Yeah,
serious?
that's not much of a fight.
Yeah, and we have Spider Woman, who I think would get her ass kicked by a Predator.
I don't know.
It'd be a good fight. It'd be a good fight. That's the same
mean,
artist who did the Fantastic Four one.
Does the Predator's armor protect her from her little electroblast dealies? Because if so, then she can't really do much. If
Yeah,
they
she can't do
don't,
much.
she wins pretty easily. If she can like just shock him, you know.
And finally, Miles Morales getting the cover.
Oh, Miles
I
Morales
love
would
that cover.
definitely take.
I love that cover
Predator.
too. How he's sort of because they both have those sort of camouflage powers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to see that them play off of that. It's very interesting. Yeah, so those are coming out also in I think May. All right, now we move on to WandaVision. This was from the opening credit. The date December 28th, 1922.
Stan the
Stanley's
man.
birthday. Stanley's birthday. So that's a dope little nod, you know. This is one of the one Easter eggs in this damn show that we can confirm exactly what it is, you know.
That's true.
But I guess, yeah, this show is making all this guessing and shit. The fans are just as crazy as Wanda at this point. Nobody has any idea what's reality and what isn't at this point.
Well,
but
that's
as we learned,
fun.
it was Agatha all along.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen that meme get started up too, and that's a really
Yeah.
fun.
This is my
thing
favorite one.
Yeah, I love that one.
Oh, that's funny. But
But-
man, there were some Easter eggs in this. Like, dude, some of these are fucking nuts. All right, like this.
The Phoenix.
Yeah, I was thinking Firestar, but yeah, Phoenix. Even though
Could be
this is
either.
this is my Phoenix now.
That's your Phoenix right now.
That's
Yeah.
my Phoenix now.
Which
And then,
one?
and then they had this guy. Remember this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that it's this guy.
Oh, maybe.
No, shut up! No, it's not. That is so.
I mean, he'd have to be
stupid.
wearing
I hate
yellow.
it.
Oh wait, no. Like, is he actually supposed to be the character? No, obviously not.
Yeah,
But like,
or-
is it supposed to be like a wink at the audience type of
yeah,
thing?
maybe,
Maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It
I
doesn't
don't know.
matter. I mean,
It's so stupid.
people
I
are
hate
looking
it.
for a deeper meaning in every fucking little thing. Like I saw an article the other day. Like, does it mean anything that the reversing the snap looked different in WandaVision than it did in
Yeah.
Spider-Man Home Far From
Yeah.
Home? No, it doesn't mean anything.
Agatha had a drink. There was ice in the glass.
Iceman confirmed for the
Iceman on his
MCU.
way.
You guys have got to chill. I mean,
Uh, this one thing though I do want to talk about. This is from the commercial. All right, the word Nexus. It cannot be a coincidence that Loki feeds right into the nexus of all realities, and that's sort of what they're dealing with. So, I mean, there are some. It's hard because yes, I might be just talking out of my ass. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But to
well,
me, that sounds legit. But then I
This
get
was-
motherfuckers saying, "Oh, that's the Sentry," and I'm like, dude.
no.
But am I the dumbass? Am I the asshole? It's
Okay,
hard
well,
to
this is
tell.
Well, you're
different.
first off, you are always the asshole.
I know.
Okay, like, but this was during one of the commercials.
Yes.
It was more spotlighted for the audience, so that does make it much more likely that this is meaningful. All the other commercials,
Yeah.
we've understood the references,
Yeah.
but now we've
trying
crossed.
to turn WandaVision to Legion. The thing about Legion is like, no, you're never gonna know. And it told you, no, you're never gonna know what's actually going on. WandaVision is like, no, you're gonna find out eventually, even if we're never gonna find out. It'd be
Yeah.
blue balls at the end. But
But
next week's episode is going crazy.
no, that was a hacky, shitty thing that they did in the Ultimates.
I love that, dude.
It was weird. Mark Millar just was schlocky writing on that case.
I posted this on Our Geekers Facebook, and some people were like, didn't understand the story, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. I have to now explain.
Yeah,
What
now you have to
happened?
explain
I'm
what.
gonna look like a freaking like a scumbag explaining
I mean,
this.
aren't you used to that? But
I know,
whatever.
true. So there's WandaVision.
But no, I
think there's
really
only-
enjoy all like the corkboard
Yeah.
stuff and the big twist at the end that it was Agatha. We probably all saw that coming, but it was still a fun
No,
twist.
we
Like
did
her-
see it coming. It was a
Yeah.
confirmation.
We
But
just-
dude, her fucking theme song was gold. All right, it was so perfect. I just
Yeah.
had such a great time.
Her creepy basement and them were basic.
Yeah.
This episode, not much happened per se, except that we are moving into the whatever the end game for this is.
Well, there's
We're
only
starting-
3 episodes left, right?
Just 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
dude.
Well, there's a rumored 10th episode, but that's
Yeah,
if
that's
you're,
what
if
I'm
you're
hearing.
going into the conspiracy theory.
Oh my
thing.
fucking
Yeah.
god! Okay, as far as I
Yeah.
know, there's 2 episodes left. The official
heard they're an
episode
hour
tally
each.
is 9.
But I've heard they're an hour each.
Yeah, they did say something about the last episodes would be about
I mean,
an
and they
hour
may
each.
not be. They may
Okay,
not
whatever. But
be. I'm
we're heading
excited, and
like,
Yeah.
I love this show. I love all the conspiracy angles. It's really gotten out of hand, but that's probably the exact reaction they were going for. So
I know,
hey,
it's
mission
Well, that's what
so
happens
out
when you
of
do a
hand.
mystery. When you do a mystery
Yeah.
like this,
It's been a
Really
while
good
since we've had a
theory.
show like this where like so many people were plugged in and it wasn't just this binge watch. So like, Stranger Things
Lost.
comes out and there's many people who already know everything about the season because they just
Yeah.
watched it all in one sitting.
it
Here,
reminds me of Lost.
yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
Lost before Lost like went up its own ass for a few seasons. But
Yeah.
I liked Lost. I still will defend it, but this will have the
It should have
advantage of
ended.
not forcing itself to stay on longer than it should have.
Yeah,
It's going to end after this
exactly.
season. It has to fit into a larger MCU meta narrative, so it shouldn't start sucking its own dick like Lost did after a
We
while.
need more of that, dude. We need more TV where one season was all this was supposed to be, or
Yeah.
3 seasons. Ozark comes to mind. That's what show was only supposed to be, just exactly what it's going to be, and it's a great show, by the way.
Yeah, it
Breaking
is.
Bad's a good example of a show that did not outlive its own quality. That he ended that show when it was appropriate to do so.
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I can't think of any shitty wasted episodes of that because
Yep.
they kept themselves to the 3 seasons.
Yep.
They had a plan and they kept to it.
Yeah, they did.
We are going to do more WandaVision. This should be our new intro for WandaVision news every time.
I liked at the
so-
beginning of this episode when she was still wearing it in bed.
Yeah, like she just had a really bad weekend,
Yeah, that was a fun touch.
All right, let's get into the news. I have an intro. I did an intro for the news. I put a lot of effort.
Mmm, yummy.
Okay. That was much better than your usual shitty efforts. Good job, man.
Thank you. Food news this week: Krispy Kreme, and they've already done this. It was one day only, and we missed it. But they were selling a Mars donut in honor of the Perseverance rover.
Ooh, that's pretty
Landing
cool.
on
Yeah, I
Mars.
saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it
It's-
actually looked like.
I mean, what do you want? It looks like Mars. It looks fine.
No, I know. I'm so into
My diabetes is just triggered.
If you-
Perseverance rover landed on Jezero crater, 28-mile wide basin, blah, blah, blah. It's got cameras. It's got all kinds of gizmos to do science.
It's got a helicopter on it.
Dude, hold on. I've got the vid of the fucking helicopter. Look at this shit. It's got a helicopter.
Yeah,
It's got
There's
a
some
helicopter. There's the
dude-
helicopter.
there's some dude playing with a remote control helicopter on Mars right now.
There's a
Dude.
drone on Mars.
That's so rad. Here's another picture. These are brand new pictures of another planet where we put a robot. Now, I'm sorry. Look, this is a satellite that we have going around there that took a picture of the new robot, dropping in. I'm sorry. All right. When I was a kid, we watched all that shit go down. All these space shuttles and shit taking off. All this awesome 80s, proxy war space awesomeness. And we're still doing it, dude. And I geek out on it.
Space is awesome. I
When
love
was
space.
this probe launched? How long ago was this probe launched?
Like, not
Last
to,
year.
not to sound
29
sappy or anything, but like stuff
2019.
like this is a good reminder that hey, we can do some pretty cool shit when we're not like stuck up our own asses,
Yeah, and we get donuts out of it too.
Hey, yeah, everyone wins.
Yeah. This thing is designed to actually take cores of the Earth, like chalk, chalk size, and then in a future project where NASA
Hey.
is hoping to hook up with the European Space Agency, they're going to go get those cores.
And bring them back to Earth and introduce
so,
a biological problem.
When we're talking about the ground on Earth, we call it Earth. When we're talking about the ground on Mars, do we call it Mars?
I think we just have to
I
call.
actually have no idea.
We're supposed.
Why
to call
don't we just call
Martian
it soil?
Martian soil, I think is what we're supposed to call it.
I want to see like a comic one time where like Thor smacks the Silver Surfer straight into the Mars. You know?
There's actually a book by Kim Stanley Robinson. It's a trilogy of books called the Mars Trilogy. It's Red Mars, Green Mars, Blue Mars. And it's very good. And at one point in the last book, the Martians have come, humans who have settled Mars, come to calling it Mars, the Earth, the Mars, planet in the Mars. Yeah. Just FYI, just a little sci-fi. But yeah, I'm stoked. I get excited about nerd shit, and that's the nerdiest shit
that happened this week.
We got dude, we're so jaded. We literally have robots driving around on another fucking planet, and people are like, "Oh,
well, somebody I know.
Deal, big fucking.
We live in
deal.
an age of wonders, but like,
but nobody wonders.
It is crazy to think about that. Like, we've reached the capacity where we can leave our planet if we want to. I mean, not like as a population, and not like in a easy, cost-effective way, but theoretically, if you could throw enough money at engineers in the world, you could go to Mars right now. Probably, if you threw like an infinite amount of money at it, you could build a habitat there.
What you're saying is
live the rest of your life there.
There are human beings on the planet who have the resources to actually do that. Elon Musk could do that this week if he wants.
I'm still waiting for my moon base, damn it. Where's my moon base?
We're getting it. We're supposed to be getting it. They keep talking
anything
about
that gets us closer to Star Trek,
Dude.
I just want my space elevators.
I want my space elevator. All right, that's awesome. I love space. I want to go to space.
I know that some people were posted since this particular robot landed on Mars. Some people posted the Russian probe that landed on Venus, and like back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And had like 2 minutes of footage before it was like melted.
Transformers got it.
Yeah.
Venus sucks, yeah.
The Cybertronians got it.
Well,
I'm the king of segue.
That was a good segue. That was like expertly done, honestly.
Even though we're talking about G.I. Joe.
Close fucking enough. We were never going to bring up G.I.
They had a crossover.
It was never going to be 100%. It sucks because Adam didn't read this. Maybe we should just wait.
Nope, I didn't.
G.I. Joe Castle Fall. The worst part about this is there wasn't much fanfare around this issue or this series, really, even though I've adored the new status quo here, the way they shook things up.
All the new G.I. Joe stuff's been great.
Basically, the story here is the Joes go to take out Dr. Mindbender, like steal him from a caravan, kidnap him. And when they get there, it's actually Major Blood. But Major Blood was like, nah, I knew what y'all were up to. And he's like, I want to take down Cobra because Cobra Commander's getting too big for his britches. And then Scarlet's like, remember what Major Blood did earlier?
Yeah.
Shot Duke.
Mm-hmm.
So Scarlet's still bitter and shoots him right in the head or in the chest. But he survives that somehow.
Of course.
Because G.I. Joe.
I mean, no one's ever dead if they're not.
Duke's dead. Duke is dead and gone.
No one's ever dead unless they're like very explicitly dead. You know?
But
if you don't see the body, they're fine.
But it turns out that Major Blood had like a plan in case he dies, and it involved Dr. Mindbender being sent to go dog sit Major Blood's dog. And the dog had like a secret plan. I know. And the Taylor's face. And the dog had a secret plan around his collar. And the secret plan was the bats, the androids that Cobra used, would go and just attack the rebels who are G.I. Joe now. But really, it was a fakeroo by Major Blood. He just made it seem that was the plan. But really, the bats were coming to destroy Cobra. And that was Major Blood's like contingency in case
Yeah.
G.I. Joe offed him, he'd still be able to take out Cobra. But anyway, Dr. Mindbender told Cobra Commander, no, this is my plan to take out the Joes. And when they instituted the plan, it actually took out Cobra. So Mindbender was going to get blamed for it. So Major Blood fucking kills Dr. Mindbender so that he
Oh
thinks
shit!
that, yeah.
Wow.
Roadblock had a dope moment in here. They raised the flag over Chicago, over Cobra headquarters.
So is this it? Is this
feels
over?
like it's it, dude. There's
That's
no
crazy.
There's no solicit for another issue. It's very disheartening. I don't know.
It was a great series. It was definitely hurt by COVID-19.
Yeah. Not enough people were reading this, man. This
Not
is
enough
one,
people were reading it, and then I'm sure it lost a huge audience when
The weirdest part
you
about
ran into
this-
that
I mean-
shipping.
Go ahead, Taylor. Oh, you there?
Oh no.
Oh, go ahead, Taylor.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I was just saying that like Adam is right that a lot of books, like either through timing or because they just never got a chance to get their feet underneath them, just got smacked down hard by the hiatus over the summer. You know?
Yeah, there's still publishers that are suffering from that. Well,
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it turns out that G.I. Joe really didn't have to do anything to win this fight. Cobra Commander just pissed off Major Blood to the point where Major Blood used his resources to take out.
Right, and it's a little weird because why
So
doesn't
stupid.
if Major Blood wants to take down Cobra, why doesn't he just use the bats to do it anyway? Why does he need
It
G.I.
does
Joe
seem
to
like
try
the
to?
I don't
Joes
know.
like. Why were the bats not Plan A? I mean, it seems like there was
Yeah.
no need for him to risk his own life going to be like, "Hey, Joes, I know you're still Mets," you know,
Because I murdered your leader. Yeah. One point that I did want to bring up, while CoverGirl, as far as I know, I'll have to reread the series, all like 12 issues of it or whatever there were.
Not even.
I don't think CoverGirl ever showed up in the book. But in the end of every issue, they have these little cards, you know, like the cards that show who's who. And this
Mhm.
is the new CoverGirl. Same name, Courtney.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen her.
Courtney A. Krieger, from Houston. She wasn't originally from Houston. She was from Cleveland, Ohio, I believe. But she's always, I mean, typically a beautiful blonde model.
Yep.
And they're changing to a
Redheaded.
person of color. And I think that's fucking awesome. It sucks that we didn't get a chance to explore that at all.
something
What
like
the
that.
hell?
Something like that, maybe kind of the abruptness of this ending. I
Yeah.
I don't have any context here, but that does sound just from a cursory description like they maybe wrap things up sooner than they intended to, and there was a bunch of stuff they never got around to.
It'll be for
Yeah.
volume 2.
I just don't get it, man. That seemed like a really good idea, especially for G.I. Joe, who needs some help, right? When it comes to stereotypes.
G.I. Joe
Alright.
does need some help right now.
I don't even want to talk about it. All right, that's it. Well, top 3. Let's get into the craziest top. Man, this is going to be weird. All right, well, I'll go first because I know I actually read a bunch of shit. I have 3 honorable mentions. If I mention an honorable mention that is on your list, speak up. All right, Black Widow, Cable, and the new Iron Fist book. All right, so Taylor
Iron
definitely
Fist is
has-
on my list,
So,
and
uh,
Cable is an honorable mention for me.
All right, well, Black Widow is definitely. You're muted, Taylor. You're muted. So Taylor,
Iron Fist would have probably been on my list. I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. Black Widow is the only book I read, so it is my default number 1. It probably would have been anyway. I really enjoyed it.
it was so good. All right, so we'll wait to talk about those. I'll mention Cable. He got cloned. Jerry Dugan, Phil Noto. It opens with Domino like explaining how her powers work by talking about how asteroids can bump into each other, and then by the end of the issue, a meteor like kills a guy.
Yeah,
was a
that
very
was
cool way to
that
show
was
off
cool,
her power.
But at the same time, there wasn't enough Cable and Domino interacting with each other in this issue.
Yeah, the way they interacted, it was very awkward too because they do have that history, that romantic history.
Yeah, it was
and he's
super
a
awkward,
teenager.
and then they split up really early, and Domino is just kind of like a background character who just does some quips. And I don't know. The art's still great in this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really like where this story is going.
They brought up this Galador's thing. You know,
Yeah.
I've never eaten a Galador's. That's a space knight
That's
thing.
Space
When
Knight
the hell are
thing.
they gonna bring back damn space knights, man? All right, my number 3 pick was The Last Ronin, number 2. Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, Tom Waltz.
It's my number 1.
It was so damn good. Mikey, spoiler alert, Mikey is the last Ronin, and he's still talking to his brothers as their ghosts, and it's so like haunting and depressing. There are some amazing moments in this, like this.
Oh, definitely.
It
Yeah, we
flashes
get some
back.
backstory in this on
Yeah.
how the turtles, how the bad events start to unfold in the turtles, how they start to unravel, how Mikey is the way he is now.
Splinter is a victim during an ambush.
Man,
and
the art in this is fantastic,
it's
especially the pages where
beautiful.
Mikey is telling his backstory where
yeah,
he's in the
it
mountain.
switches to some of that traditional,
Mhm.
TMNT art to tell Mikey's flashback, and it's weird because he's telling this story to Casey Marie Jones,
Yep.
who is April and Casey's daughter. And she's training, she's learning the ninja ways.
But she's kind of teaching herself. She's learning
Yeah,
through
she's
just
learning
old
from
books that
herself.
she's found around.
So this opens up a whole different, a bunch of angles here. Okay, Michelangelo's basically on like a suicide run. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
gonna kill himself. Getting revenge.
Well,
for his
that was the
family.
whole plan in the last issue. He was not supposed to make it
Yeah.
out.
Casey Marie offers sort of a light. Something for him to maybe stay around and follow the footsteps of his own father and become a master to his extended family. April and Casey were in the fam, so is Casey Marie. But it also, April, okay? This issue focuses a lot on April. The whole Raphael flashback showing Raphael fighting and dying is April's flashback, okay?
Yes.
And she has lost so much. She's lost all of the turtles. She just got Mikey back. She thought Mikey was dead. Mikey thought she was dead. Lost Splinter. Obviously lost Casey Jones. Lost her arm and her leg. They show her, putting on her prosthetics in this. Is she going to be willing to let her daughter go tag along on Mikey on his suicide mission to freaking...
Well, she already has
do
a
whatever?
crew that she runs around with.
I don't know, man.
And it seems like April's like the leader of the resistance that's going on. So
still,
I don't know.
If
She
they don't
might
incorporate some of that into the story, I'm going to be disappointed. But man, so far this book is freaking incredible. 2 for 2, knocked it out of the park. Great issue.
Oh hell yeah, great issue, great book.
Adam, go ahead, because Taylor and David ain't got nothing. Ain't got nothing this week.
So I got a couple
Sorry.
honorable mentions. Cable was one of my honorable mentions. I already talked about it.
Cool.
But then Nightwing number 2 from Future State. It was okay. This one, Nightwing and Batman, the new Batman, are in Arkham Asylum, which is Nightwing's base, and he has to fight off all the Peacemaker goons. And it's a couple cool fight scenes. But that Batman is still the worst Batman.
Oh, God.
And then Dark Detective was also okay. The art was great.
I haven't
NBC.
I haven't read any of the next Batman stuff. Is he a worse Batman than John Kent is a bad Superman?
No, John
Well,
Kent
in
is
this
the worst.
issue, and I didn't read the issue, but I did read an article, a review on the issue, and it says, Batman didn't have any parents. Right? He didn't really have a family who couldn't really take care of themselves. And the new one does. And that kind of hurts him. Is that what you got, Adam? Or no?
I mean, I guess maybe I don't know.
I'm not reading
but-
that
but-
state trash.
But my actual number
Tired of
3
it.
is Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon number 2. Larry
Nice.
Hama, David Wachter. I just like this. I just love this book, man. Larry Hama, just a great action book. The art is fantastic. I love the opening with Taskmaster dumping all the blood or whatever on
I don't know
him.
what that was. I didn't
Kind
know
of making
that-
him look like Red Skull.
Oh, it was weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
but
cool,
then
though.
But then Iron Fist also goes into this other realm where he talks to that god who shows up. Yep, and he gets a beautiful artwork.
Oh, the dragons are so cool, dude.
Yep, and then he also kind of he makes a team with champions from the other realms, and I like his team. I really enjoy Fat Cobra.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
this is a fun read.
These are the other mystical cities, right? Like Kunlun.
Yeah, like the other. I don't really know all too much about Iron Fist, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either. That's what I
honest with
picked
you.
up on, though. This is actually a lot bigger than I initially thought it was going to be. They're teleporting these mystical cities from their realms into the regular 616 universe, and one of these mythical cities shows up at the borders of Wakanda.
Yeah, and
it looks like they're showing up all over.
Yeah, and it looks like from the cover of next issue that's going to be a big deal because
I didn't know Larry Hamill was going to write anybody else.
Yeah, that character is on the cover of the next issue.
Yeah,
attacking a dragon from one of these cities.
Yeah. One other thing I did want to note: a great issue, by the way, definitely deservingly of a top 3. Well paced, well read, very good. But
it's not as it didn't have as much of the language problem that the first issue had, where it kind of felt very stilted. It wasn't,
and that's really surprising because this issue was a lot of exposition.
There was a lot of exposition, but it was well done.
Yeah. This is
I was looking forward to reading that one. It probably would have been in my top 3.
It's very good. This is the credits page for Iron Fist: Heart of the Dragon. I just wanted you to notice David Aja. His work on this character is so timeless, so quintessential that he is the fucking logo. David Aja's depiction of Iron Fist is now the Iron Fist logo. Okay,
well deserved.
Fucking dragon on his chest.
Wow.
But yeah, well deserved, man. I was like, really? They're using. I just don't usually see that. You know?
That's the only collection of Iron Fist stories that I owned before this. Was the Matt Fraction Dave Aja run?
Oh, it's the run. It
was good shit.
I like the Carrie Andrews run.
It's good too. The thing about the Carrie Andrews run, it feels like it's got its legs kicked out from under it. You know what I mean? He had a lot.
It only
more
went
there.
12 issues. Yeah, he had more room for that, but man, it's so beautiful.
It's beautiful, dude. It's beautiful. All right, Taylor doesn't have a number 2. He's only got a number 1, and we will talk about that in a moment. My number 2 is Marauders, number 18. Jerry Duggan, Stefano Caselli, Matteo Lally. The pirates continue to move into Madripoor, buying up real estate, building roads and hospitals, winning the hearts and minds of the people. The baddies there have a new set of Reavers. These Reavers are all of the people that have been killed, or like they're the humans that have been maimed by mutants so far in the Dawn of X.
Huh.
It's a pretty cool angle, pretty.
Yes, I'm not really a big fan of the Reavers.
They're just bad guys. They're just insert bad guys here, really. But we did get a Moira McTaggart sighting. Not really.
Oh, that's good. We haven't seen
they named the hospital after Moira McTaggart, which does open up a lot of questions. So all of Krakoa thinks that Moira is dead, and I think that's by design. I think that was already, shown off, but they're really leaning into it now by making her a hero of mutants.
Moira wasn't known to be a mutant by most people, right?
As far as I know,
it's really just Magneto and Professor X that know about her reincarnation power.
Yes, nobody knows, and everyone thinks she's dead because at one point they put her in a Kree. It's like an LMD, but a Kree LMD of some kind, and then that died, and so she just kept that going. But great thing in here, Mask. Mask is an old Morlock character who could change the way people looked. They've got him fixing cleft palates in the slums of Madripoor.
Huh.
And there's the Reavers, my bad. But yeah, isn't that pretty cool, dude?
Yeah.
That's like Calypso carries him in there and he's like, what do you want me to do now? And she's like, oh no, I got a great job for you. Plastic surgery. And I was like, wow, that's cool. It's those little things, those little tiny little pieces of Krakoan lore, I guess you want to call it. Those new angles.
That minutia.
Yeah, the minutia that really carries all of the X books right now.
It is kind of cool getting to see some mutants have to come up with an entirely new use for their powers. They live in a relatively peaceful, stable society where they don't have to fend for themselves. So yeah, people like him can just hey, I guess I'm a plastic surgeon now.
Yeah. Just really, really well done. I had a lot of fun with that book. Cable was fun too, but that was definitely X-Men Legends was good too. But it was mostly that art, that Brett Booth art, which was way 90s throwback. It was really hot. Adam, do you have a number 2?
I do. My number 2 is King in Black number 4.
That's my number 1. Man, we're gonna wrap this shit quick.
Yeah, we are, man. This is just a dumb but really fun, exciting event book where shit actually happens.
It's popcorn blockbuster, dude.
Hell yeah, man. My biggest complaint with a lot of Marvel events is that at the end of the day, nothing really happens in a lot of these. But it feels like shit is happening in this one. Dylan he was captured by Null at the end of the last issue. And so in this one he confronts Null and he uses his powers to take over the hive mind and release the other heroes.
Now, was it revealed in this issue that Dylan's powers were manifested because of the purposeful actions of the hive unbeknownst to Null? Like the hive was trying to fight against Null, so they created.
Yeah, there's kind of like a balance thing to it.
Oh, that's rad, dude.
There's like a light and a dark balance to it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff.
That comes up with a pretty satisfying explanation for why this kid can contest the will of like a primordial super god.
Yeah, his hive.
So, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, his hive.
I like the way that they handled that.
Yeah, is enslaved. The hive of symbiotes itself is connected. And they've communicated kind of like a Borg collective. There's a Voyager episode where the Borg collective actually communicates outside of the Borg Queen's control. That's kind of what they did here.
And that episode.
They went behind Null's back and created an equal opposite.
Created Dylan. Yeah, that's such a cool idea. So awesome. It took a turn I wasn't expecting at the end. I think we'll get to that in a moment because it's huge.
Yep. Jean Grey showing up like a badass in this.
Just a badass. If you'll notice in this original panel here, there's this communication. That's Jean Grey overcoming Null's symbiotes. And Donnie Case confirmed this on Twitter. I looked it up, that Jean Grey is just that damn powerful.
Oh, hell yeah.
She was able to link everybody. And they all teamed up, dude. They all unified their powers. Like, everybody did a thing. Namor called a big tidal wave at the end. Storm and Thor hooked up, as they usually do in these situations, to call the lightning. Dude, it was so rad, man. Great pacing. Just amazingly fun.
It's cool, like, seeing a character, like, get a chance to be like, oh, right, I am, like, a fucking super god tier character, you know? Like,
yeah, a lot of times
in the X-Men books, like, there's like, that's always like the inherent rub of any superhero comic, right? Like, it's sometimes ridiculous to think that there's a problem the X-Men are fighting this week that Jean can't handle by herself.
Well, and in this especially, because early on, King in Black, the first thing he did is rip Sentry in half. Yeah. The next thing he did was sort of take a punch that knocked his jaw off, from Thor. It's nice that Jean Grey, can show her ass and not take a weird heel turn. But the big deal here is, because there's three things going on, right? There's Dylan doing his thing. There's Jean Grey coordinating all the heroes to stop the symbiotes. But then there's the Silver Surfer dealing with this power that's coming out from the light. The light.
My own real complaint about this issue is Silver Surfer is very shoehorned into this story.
Oh, he is, and it's Donnie Cates though. You knew he was coming back with
but he doesn't really serve any real purpose in this other than to be the ex machina for the ex machina.
Oh man, he's the carrier, the pigeon of the ex machina. The ex machina is Eddie Brock is the new Captain Universe. Yeah, the light is actually the Enigma Force. It turns out that eons and eons ago, Null, who is the darkness, was fighting the light, who is the Enigma Force.
Mm-hmm.
The Enigma Force couldn't win.
And they're actually, Taylor, you'll appreciate this. The characters they use for that fight are the two gods that Gore sees fight in Jason Aaron's run, where he originally gets his all black. Yeah.
So it turns
that's a cool callback. Yeah.
Dude, this makes a lot of sense too. Null, king of the symbiotes, link up with you. The Enigma Force is basically a symbiote of the light, and that's how it's always worked.
It's
an interesting. Always kind of worked like a symbiote.
The Enigma Force is a thing that doesn't. It's like a thing that pops up every now and then, but it doesn't have this really well-defined lore. So that's a good thing to play with. That's a pretty smart move, I think.
Yeah, and they actually talk about it. Like Reed Richards is still there in Eddie Brock's hospital bed, trying to fix him up, and he's like, "Oh, The Enigma Force, we finally figured it out. It's a symbiote, and then it, this.
Okay, so I didn't pick up this event because I don't give a shit about Venom, but I was clearly wrong. I'm gonna have to get this when it comes out in trade.
It's pretty rad, dude. Yeah, and I mean, it's not. I don't know. A lot of people are.
It looks fun. I like stupid fun events. I like Siege. I like World War Hulk. I like these things where it's just like, let's get our action figures and smash them together. I like these types of events.
That's exactly what this is.
I just didn't give a shit about Venom, but hey, looks like he's barely a part of it, it seems anyway.
Dude, by the first 2 issues, right, there are Celestials duking it out in the middle of Manhattan because Tony Stark was able to use...
There are extremists Celestials.
He's able to use the extremists combined with a Venom symbiote to take over a Celestial. Dude, I'm sorry. Like big rock'em sock'em robots, skyscraper size.
I am down for that. I am. So.
It's dumb. It's dumb and stupid, and it's never going to mean anything. And Eddie Brock as Captain Universe is just stupid and ridiculous, but man...
I'm
like
down
you were
for
saying, Adam, Silver Surfer didn't need to be here. I don't care. It was awesome when he was there. I love Silver Surfer. But yeah, it's just dumb and stupid, and I love it. Keep winning, Donny Cates. Awesome. So those are all of our books except for Taylor's number 1, which we have to talk about because it was dope.
My number 1 is Black Widow number 5. It's the end of this first arc on this run by Kelly Thompson and Casagrande here, and
Jordi Belair colors.
Yeah, it has been I think low-key sensation. It's been really great. All the fight scenes are so great. All the art in general is made. Yeah, this panel, man, they are being freaking brutal in this issue.
I love it.
Like he took this guy in the eye. There's like that great 2-page spread of like Hawkeye just on the raft. Yeah. And like them doing like
we're right there, bro. We're right there. Yeah.
We see the 2 Black Widows down there. That's kind of become like the trademark fight sequence for this series is them moving across the page through all the different poses. And we can also see like all these motherfuckers just with arrows sticking out of them because Hawkeye has been going to town on these guys.
While the art continues to just be amazing, Casagrande and Jordi Belair are winning. This is award-worthy work that they're doing here.
It is.
This one hit the heartstrings, bro.
Yeah,
when Natasha breaks
that's
down
a beautiful
here.
page. Yeah.
I usually go on and on about the art, but the writing has been superb for all these issues, and in this one especially because she is really getting into the nitty-gritty of what it means for Natasha to be given something that she never thought was possible, only to have it ripped away from her in the most dramatic of fashions.
Yeah, they're still alive, right? They put them in like a place.
Well, yeah, okay, so it might be easy to forget because the last issue of this came out like 4 months ago or something.
Right.
But the big explosion was part of a ruse that she and the Winter Soldier cooked up. He left the fight with them to secret them away to a place where Natasha does not know about. So when
her son
there's that moment
gonna
when
come back and he's gonna be a fucking badass, dude.
I'm sure
they were already hinting at him like they can't keep a hold of him. Let's put him in cages, because he's gonna come back and be a badass, and I can't wait. I think the other thing we have to say is
new costume.
New costume. New costume always means spec market. This book hits spec market. It's already going for triple cover price. As soon as the other issue where they figured out that the husband and the son were whisked away, the first issue of this hit spec market because that first appearance of that little kid is going to mean something, down the road.
I'm sure someone's eventually going to pick up with that. Like they're going to artificially age him up or like, I don't know, he's going to spend some time in an alternate dimension or some shit where he can come back as an adult. What the fuck ever. I don't know.
Whatever.
But the moment when like she like closes the door and like the sound of that door clicking is one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever experienced in my life. That hits hard because though
the line is actually sounds like my heart turning into dust, or it was hardcore. It was great. Yeah. Thompson is killing it on this book. Dude.
We find out later they're actually alive, but they are in effect dead to her. She is never going to see them again. The Winter Soldier did not tell her where they are, and she demanded that they will never talk about them again. So
there's also other low key little hits like Hawkeye, Clint and her having this conversation, and he's like,
"Oh yeah, I like that." Like
he's like, "No,
I was
the only
one who didn't get a name. Like that was Logan. The kid was Steve. Your husband was James. There wasn't a Clint."
And he's like, and then she's like, "I didn't name him Clint. They did." He's like, "Oh, okay."
But then later on, when she's talking to James, to Bucky, it was named James for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I love how that's very quintessential Natasha. That she's a different person to different people. And these are both people that she loves and cares about. And honestly, I don't necessarily think she was lying to either of them.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. I mean, this book is freaking low key. It's not on enough people's radar. It's an amazing run so far.
Yeah, I think people who are not getting this book, they are really missing out. It's been great.
It's award-worthy work, man.
This is the end of the first arc.
Yeah.
This is the end of the first arc. I think that the issue number 6 is going to be the end of the volume when that eventually comes out, because it's supposed to be I think a one and done with a different artist real quick. But yeah, it is phenomenal. The writing is great. The art is great. You'd be doing yourself a favor if you picked it up.
Yeah. This is going to be nominated for any award that it can get. Maybe not lettering, but it's going to win in coloring. Jordi Belair's got another Eisner for the colors in this book. It's gorgeous. And Casa Grande should be a shoe-in too with those.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful book. Yeah, people are missing out, man. Good choices this week. I wish things would have went differently. We'd had more books to talk about, but
yeah,
the books. It was a great week for comics.
Most of the stuff you guys talked about, like Iron Fist and Last Ronin, probably would have been in my top 3 if I had gotten around to reading them. But just weird week, didn't get a chance to.
I definitely would have had requested the Last Ronin be pulled for me, so that's probably was going to hit my top 3.
Nice. So yeah, great week. We got so much more planned for the rest of the week, too. As usual, Monday Night Preview Show will be happening tomorrow at 7 Central. We're just talking about all the books that come out later this week. It's going to be so much fun. My favorite show of the week. But Tuesday, top 5 comic book writers. I think everybody here is going to be here except David, David, what would your top 5 be? Do you know offhand?
I wasn't going to be here, so I didn't put anything into it. But I can
shooting from the hip. What do you think would be on the short
shooting
list?
from the hip. Give me 1 or 2.
Hellboy: Seeds of Destruction.
That's not a run, but Hellboy's a good choice.
Well, Hellboy doesn't make like the normal runs. They just have like short.
But you could just call out the Mignola run on Hellboy as a whole.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
See, that's the thing I wasn't sure if I'm gonna do it like. Stuff where it's like basically the baby of one writer, that it doesn't really have any legs outside of that writer, like Sandman for Neil Gaiman or The Goon for Eric Powell or Hellboy for Mike Mignola. Because
you could probably do those.
I think that they probably should be on the list. I mean, they are good. We shouldn't disqualify them just because other writers have never really done much work on them.
Yeah.
But if like my way of thinking would be, if I was going to recommend a Hellboy series to somebody,
it would be that
Destruction would be like the quintessential Hellboy.
Yeah,
because that's where everything's established.
Would you put Saga on your short list?
I would put Saga on my short list.
Saga's not done though. If you can finish Saga,
but
good. Though,
Saga
man.
is great. Good. If I had to do a Brian K. Vaughan right now, it'd probably be Why the Last Man, just because that is complete.
Yeah.
Although Saga was complete, I imagine it will eventually be my favorite of his.
It's going to be, it's possible that's going to be one of the best comics of all time once it's all done.
I don't know how you would feel about it, but maybe Cerberus.
That would probably work. I'm just not a fan of that work. It's okay.
It's a good and like sequential storytelling, and it takes a lot of different
social
story part. Yeah,
social stuff. Yeah,
social. Well, I don't know if it was social, but there's a lot of great storytelling in there, and it does touch on a variety of issues like religion.
Sure.
Another book might be a surprise one would be The Flintstones by Mark Russell.
Well, no, see, that's just a run. That's not a run. That's more of like an arc. It's got to be more than one arc.
But it was good.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was really good, but I don't think
It
it's long
doesn't
enough to
count.
count.
But I kind of know how you guys feel about mangas, so I'm not going to go into any of those.
I mean,
Akira,
manga's not disqualified.
Akira could make my
mean,
list.
Akira
It won't.
Akira
it
is
could.
pretty good, but I was thinking like more along the lines of like I Am a Hero.
Oh yeah, he's always fucked that one up.
If we really wanted to go off the wall, we could try to do like funny paper strips, like do like Bill Watterson for Calvin and Hobbes or something.
Or
Oh,
Charlie
dude.
Brown.
Yeah, or Doonesbury stuff, man.
I don't think I'm gonna do that, but I am tempted to
not.
do Calvin and Hobbes, honestly.
That's so good.
But yeah, I mean, I really didn't put any like effort into it because I knew I wasn't going to be here.
Yeah, sure.
So,
no,
I mean, there are things just off the top of my head I might pick. It's a good variety of like indie stuff that people aren't necessarily tuned into. I might actually put in it's because a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the independent stuff, usually it's just like mini series, like 4 to 6
Exactly. Yeah, it's harder to choose from those.
There are some stuff that had like some 12-issue runs that are pretty good.
It doesn't count.
I know, but if and I don't have it all, but Concrete from Paul Chadwick.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
I don't necessarily think that's a bad way of doing it, but like you shouldn't approach it from like the opposite direction. Like I'm not going to pick this because I think it's too popular. Most things are popular for a reason.
Oh, sure. Without a doubt.
As long as you're not being contrarian for the sake of being contrarian, I think that's the important thing. But that doesn't mean you should include these things.
I don't read a lot of Marvel and DC.
Exactly.
I read more DC than anything else.
And it's not your favorite stuff. You prefer the smaller press stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's how I've always been. So like I will get like the mini series runs. I have like Aliens versus Predator, which that original series is while a mini series is pretty dope.
Some of those original Legends Dark Horse Star Wars.
Oh yeah, Dark Empire.
Yeah, I mean those are good runs. All right, well, let's wrap this bad boy. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We appreciate it. Again, we do this every Sunday. We got a Monday night show. We got a Tuesday night show this week. Plus, the Bullies are be on at midnight tonight. And then Big Willie doing shit all week. So, yeah, keep tuning back. I think there's a wrestling thing maybe coming. I don't know. We got to talk.
Maybe. I have to talk to Jules.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. We got to figure that out.
I think that'd be cool. I encourage you guys to do it.
Yeah, I do too. He wants to do a Star Trek thing too, and I'm just like, man, we're gonna run out of Tuesdays. Yeah, some months don't have.
You gotta give it like 4 a month, right? Basically.
Yeah, 4 or 5. I don't know. So yeah, keep coming back to our channel. Keep checking that shit out. We really appreciate it. If you want to help us a little bit more, patreon.com/outright geekery. Just a tip. Just want $1 a month. Be great. But yeah, that's it, man.
We really need to do something to help, like promote the Patreon or something, shout outs or something.
I'm just lazy as fuck, man. Maybe this week
Let's hash that out later. Anyway, good night.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening, but most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy and having a good time.
Always a pleasure.
We're gonna do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.